Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. My apologies if my presentation in this video is not very good. This is an emotionally charged topic for me because I've gone out with people in the past who have dealt with individuals in their childhood life that were similar to what I'm going to describe here, so it's a personal topic for me that bothers me very much. I'm going to be following up on the video that I did on BwE Electronics the other day. Before we get started on the video, there's two things I have to go into because this gentleman has repeatedly tried to strike my videos down on privacy and defamation claims. The first thing we need to go over when it comes to privacy and doxing, that the messages that I'm going to be showing in this video are messages back and forth between a WhatsApp number and his customers, and this WhatsApp number is public on his business website. If you go to BwEelectronics.com.au, you'll see that there is a text or WhatsApp right here. This is a public business phone number. So for me to share this phone number is not a violation of his privacy because this phone number is publicly available on his own company website. And the customers that have showed me this correspondence with him have given me full consent to show their correspondence in this video. The second thing that I'm going to go over here is the defamation claim. I'm going to be reading you articles from credible Australian news websites as well as court websites. If you are somebody from YouTube who's listening to this and you think that there is an issue with privacy or defamation, just look it up for yourself and you'll see that those claims are complete utter nonsense. So let's get into what we're going over here. So BwE has a piece of software that allows you to better understand what's going on with your PlayStation. This allows you to diagnose and repair the console in a way that you wouldn't be able to without his software. I will give him credit there that he's damn good at what he does at making software that makes it easier to fix a PlayStation. The problem is that his software has a very, very weird type of spying DRM in it where it can tell what you're running on your computer. If you're running software on your computer he doesn't like, he bans you. If you're not running other software on his computer, he also bans you. Why am I making this video rather than dealing with this privately? I tried to deal with it privately. I asked him to stop doing this to his customers. That was in April of 2024. He continued to do this to his customers and he defended all of his actions. I made a video going over these business practices. He continued to do this to his customers. 13 months later, he has not refunded any of the customers he's banned, and he tried to have my video taken down from YouTube. That's strike 3, because trying to have my videos taken down from YouTube is offensive to me since this harms my channel and risks me losing my channel. So I did another video saying, stop doing that and refund your customers. And after doing this video, he then filed further strikes for both privacy, doxing, and defamation on my other videos. That is strike 4. I have given this man 13 months to change his ways. Not only has he not changed his ways, but he's also tried to destroy my YouTube channel. At this point, you leave me very little recourse other than to make the video I'm making now. Jessa Jones, as well as many others, have contacted him in private and politely tried to get him to understand that this is not the way to deal with people. This is on you, nobody else but you. Let's read one of the most outlandish customer chats I've seen. And to anybody from YouTube who's getting this as the timestamp for doxing him, please do remember that this phone number is on his business's public website as his customer service phone number. There is no doxing here, and Uber Micro Repairs, who sent this to me, has given me full consent to post this to the YouTube channel. Uber Micro Repairs messages the customer service phone number with the software not working and says, any reason? And he gets the automated message from BwE, and then BwE says, hi, who are you and what business do you represent? He identifies himself as Uber Micro Repairs. Ah, okay. Uber Micro Repairs asks, any reason for the license to be revoked? BwE links to the terms and conditions, without saying which term. Uber Micro asks, please point out the one that I have allegedly broken. BwE says, please read it before asking me to read it for you. Though given you've accepted it, you've surely read it. Can you tell the assault and passive-aggressive, arrogant prick in this, for lack of a better way to put it? Is that the way you treat people that have paid you? I'm not a mind reader. Please enlighten me on the terms you think I have broken. As far as I'm aware, I did nothing wrong. That software was last used on February 15, 2025, and since that day, the laptop was on my shelf with a dead battery. So again, please let me know what I did wrong. BwE responds, then no loss? Sorry, what does that mean? BwE asks, is there any particular reason you're trying it today? So he is implying that because Uber Micro has not used this software in 2 or 3 months, that there's no loss if his access to it is revoked. This is an Axiom M3 speaker that I have on my desk. I bought them 2 years ago. This has not been hooked up for a month because I have my amp at my store powering a different set of speakers. Imagine if Ian Colquhoun and Alan Loft came to my house, took my speaker, stole it, and then said, well, you're not using it right now anyway because you're using a TLCS 3.6 instead of mine, so clearly it's no loss that I've stolen your speaker. My original question still stands. Why have you revoked the license? Reading the terms does not give me any indication why you chose to revoke it. You banned me from your Discord, and the only interaction I had in there was giving you a thumbs up on your comment when you added me. You know exactly why, but let's stay on topic here. Please give me the reason for revoking the license. BwE says, I believe you already know. Uber Micro says, I need you to tell me. BwE says, and I suppose your actions here are kind of telling the character you possess. You don't need anything. I think it's best to use some other software. Perhaps the coder's tool may suit you. You see the passive aggression over there? Perhaps you should use somebody else's software. Imagine if Alan Loft at Axiom saw that instead of using the Axiom M3 tie, that I was using the TLCS 3.6, so that was his justification for coming into my house and taking away the Axiom M3. Perhaps you should just enjoy your teals. That's insane. This is the type of jealousy that I would expect from a toddler, but that's actually insulting the toddlers because I don't even expect a 4-year-old to be this petty. Well, it would seem you're avoiding the question. End of conversation. I honestly have no interest in talking to someone as disgusting as yourself. Please stop talking to me. Thanks. This is not how somebody who is emotionally and mentally healthy responds to a customer. Don't ban customers because of this. Oh, I get it now. Phil shouted me out in his video, which he did off his own back, I might add. I see now. BwE. I don't watch his videos, and I don't see how that would warrant anything. Micro says, so I'll take that this decision of yours is theft. BwE. You can take it however you please. Pursuant to my terms which you agreed to, you're banned. Uber Micro says bye. BwE says your service is terminated permanently. Bye. You've also broken another term just now, so feel free to base whatever reason on that then. Keeps it simple. What the hell, man? Uber Micro repairs. People need to know that you are avoiding a simple question. BwE. All private communications between BwE Electronics and its customers are strictly confidential. Unauthorized disclosure, including sharing email or messaging platforms such as WhatsApp, will result in the immediate termination of all services. Uber Micro. That is the only term that I've broken, and it is after you have revoked my license. BwE. It's not the only one, but it's the latest one. Uber Micro says, well, tell me the other one. BwE says, I'm not interested in having my conversations leaked. Thank you. Uber Micro. Well, stop conducting yourself this way and be civil with your customers. BwE. And you're civil? Uber Micro. I'm asking a simple question. I've not said anything to you to cause you harm that would warrant the license being revoked. Please point to me the reason why you revoked the license, and that will be done and dusted. Again, keep in mind, he said that he was revealing messages and that's why the license was revoked, but he only shared messages after his license was revoked without reason. You're avoiding the original question. Sorry, but I value my privacy. Perhaps you should have been cognizant of the terms. Well, this is unproductive. I'm cutting off any communication with you now. And there's a reason he values privacy of certain matters, and we're going to get into that. The matters within which he values privacy the most are matters that are completely public and public record. Let's go over the second time that he has treated a customer this way. He's going to make fun of a customer for not wanting to give him his state ID in spite of the fact that this gentleman's own business website uses somebody else's name. If you take a look at the whois for betterwayelectronics.com.au, the person who owns this is not Louis. It's not him. His domain name is registered to Julie Marie Miller Morrison. So his domain name for his website and his business is registered to somebody that's not him. Keep that in mind when you see how he's going to berate and make fun of this other customer. Hello, I'm getting incompatibility error 12 and trying to use your code reader. I have been using it for months without issue. I haven't made any changes to my computer. I don't understand. Please help. Jeremy, Lake, DRP Fix. Thank you for contacting BwE Electronics. Please let us know how we can help you. Thank you for your message. We're unavailable right now, blah, blah, blah. He sends a message which is a picture of what's going on with the software. BwE Electronics responds with the URL to incompatible error information. The customer says, I don't know what any of that means. I don't see a reference of error 12. I closed everything out on my computer, turned off Windows Defender. It still will not work. Nothing else is running. I don't know any other code reader software. Please help. BwE. Why do you think you need a reference to 12 and there's also no reference to 1 or 2 or 3? Isn't it obvious it's for any of these? Anyways, please send photo ID that matches your purchase. He's asking for photo ID from the customer. The customer doesn't send photo ID, but he responds with a photo of his receipt. I believe this is a screenshot of the receipt that has the invoice information, and it has the last 4 digits of his credit card, which I have censored from this screenshot. BwE makes fun of him and berates him and says, so wait, when you're driving and a cop pulls you over, you show him this? The customer responds, it's a business credit card in my father-in-law's name. I'm not asking him for a copy of his ID. Louis, so you don't exist and he doesn't exist. And then he links to the terms. BwE is mocking this customer for not wanting to give him his state ID. He's mocking him for showing the receipt for the software, in spite of the fact that on his own website, he doesn't even have his own name attached to it. Wrong key. This is not your name, sir. Yet you're making fun of people who may have somebody else at their business do this. Steve will use my credit card because it's my company and Steve is the manager of it, and that's going to have a different name on it. If Steve asked for my photo ID because our copy of QuickBooks or something stopped working, I would say no. If a customer has sent you both their email address, proof that they've paid you, their invoice number, and everything else, you have everything that you need to ensure that their license number is then going to work. You don't need their state ID. And I find it very strange that somebody who won't even attach his name to his business website is then making fun of somebody for providing a receipt in response to a request for them to prove that they purchased the software. I'm going to read one of the last emails before digging into his business that made me feel sick. I'll just read this. I'm not going to put his name or anything on screen. Email correspondence with BwE. Note, this correspondence is immediately after Hurricane Helene hit us. I am located in Asheville, North Carolina, and had no cell phone or internet or power from September 24th close to the end of October. Insurance denied most of my inventory and workshop tools that were damaged because they didn't have flood insurance. Nobody did. With the small bit of funds I had left, I made a decision to try to Hail Mary and bought a generator to power a select bit of old bench tools, and I drove a few hours to get service to buy BwE's product and download. This was an attempt to cut my diagnostic time down substantially and hopefully stay alive by fixing the more advanced issues PS5s I was sitting on without access to the internet to locate schematics and information I would normally require. Instead, it cost me hours of time driving to get service to communicate with him, trying to get his product working, and in the end losing both time and money with zero return outside of another brick stacked on a mental and financial breakdown. This man took my family and my business at our lowest, a time I cried more than I had in my entire adult life, and I'm 38 years old, and grinded his heel in. I very rarely speak negative about anyone, and if I do, I'm quick to apologize and feel remorse. This may be the one exception I have and ever will have. Of everything destroyed, the mountain of debt and toll my family and I were walking with, the scar from Louis kicking me when I was at rock bottom will be the only thing that time won't heal. Thank you for being the voice for businesses like mine who are silently working to stay alive. It means far more than words could describe. And yes, Louis did talk to this man in a worse manner than he spoke to the other two. Made me sick. Let's talk about BwE. I'm Louis. I have a master's degree in cybersecurity, a bachelor's in management, a bachelor's in information systems, and a diploma in business. I'm currently undertaking a PhD in cybersecurity. So he's going for his degree, and he lives in Brisbane, Australia. If you take a look at his GitHub, there's a few things you're going to notice. The first is that the commits started around 2018, and second thing you're going to notice is all these weird underage-looking anime girl-looking characters over here. They show up a lot on his YouTube channel, and they show up a lot over here. And this is all going to come into context at one point. Remember this, and remember that most of the commits here are starting around 2019 and to 2018. His website is registered to Julie Marie Miller Morrison, not Louis. Who is Julie Marie Miller Morrison? Julie Marie Miller Morrison is somebody in Australia that owns Phase 4 Modern. She's listed under this business name. What is Phase 4 Modern? Phase 4 Modern, it looks like a record and cassette store. Nothing wrong with that. You know, you just like a place where you could go to get old records. Pretty cool. And it says in both this article and this article that Donat Harahaj and Julie Morrison own this place. If you look down here, it says that the owners are Donat Dani Taharaj and Julie Morrison. Why do these people matter? If we look up Donat Taharaj, he also is listed as one of the owners of Phase 4 Records. Now, wonder who's related to Donat Taharaj. Do we find anybody? If you take a look, you'll find this gentleman over here, Louis Tahiri, whose name used to be Luan Taharaj. So from May 2010 to July of 2024, this man's name was Luan Taharaj. ABNs are kind of like social security numbers in Australia. Your name can change, but this always stays the same. His name is Louis, the name that we know our individual. Where does he live? Main business location. When you take a look at the postal code, Brisbane, Australia, right where his business is located. Now, let's take a look at when he was registered to do business. He was active from May of 2010 to June of 2013. So he ended it around June of 2013. And then he was active again on October of 2022 to the present. Now, what may have happened in June of 2013 that caused him to stop doing his business? This is. You ready? 1, 2. Brisbane court jails man for 12 years over internet sex offenses. A Brisbane court has jailed a man for 12 years for offenses including using the internet to procure underage girls for things that you need a VPN to view on the internet in Texas. The Supreme Court has been told that a 24-year-old Luan Taraj has contacted girls aged 13 and 14 on the website Vampire Freaks. He hacked the computer of one of the girls in southern New Wales and threatened her if she did not strip and engage in sexual acts on webcam. Police found 180 child things you can't view on the internet in Texas without a VPN images on his computer, and that he had bragged online about his conduct. He posted images on 2 internet sites along with comments like "epic win" and "enjoy and learn from the master." No remorse. Justice George Freiberg said Taraj had shown no remorse and ordered he serve half his 12-year term before being eligible for parole. He urges parents to only allow their children internet access in shared spaces. When you take a look at the rest of the case, there's an entire thing over here. This is public from Australia's website, Australia government. So if anybody's watching from YouTube and they think I'm making this stuff up, view this website for yourself. I'll link it down below. I'm going to read you some of the highlights of this. Using a carriage service to access child abuse material, count 5. And knowingly possessing child exploitation material, count 7, where the appellant befriended a 13-year-old girl on the website Vampire Freaks. She asked him about the program to help her get more friends on MySpace. He turned on her webcam remotely. She tried to block him on MSN Messenger. He made a countdown appear on her computer screen and said he would destroy her computer if she did not unblock him. She complied. He told her to strip on webcam, threatening to destroy her computer and hack all her online accounts if she did not. He instructed and told her to masturbate on webcam and write something on her breasts. She acceded, knowing the incident was being recorded. He said, and I quote, "I am Ruffles. I destroy lives. Who wants this video? I make a girl cry. I force her to strip and F herself. I force her to finger her and lick her fingers. I then make her write a greet to a mate of mine on her tits. Epic win?" On another site, he wrote, "and enjoy and learn from the master." The appellant had shown no contrition, continued to deny responsibility, and was proud of his own cleverness in orchestrating the offending. He did not cooperate with the authorities in the administration of justice. With time for rehabilitation to occur, the appellant's denial of responsibility and lack of remorse did not suggest these prospects were promising. There was going to be a 12-year prison sentence. However, this wound up being commuted to a 4-year non-parole period. There should be a non-parole period of 4.5 years. Case, August 2013. When did his business first end? June 2013. 4.5-year parole period. When would he have been active again? 2018. Wayback Machine. Let's check his website. When did his website become active? 2018. When did he start making commits to GitHub? What did Luan do to the 13-year-old girl? He hacked her computer and he messed with her. What does Louis identify as? A hacker. I eventually shifted my focus from hacking to reverse engineering. What does he do to his customers? He screws with them. He messes with them. He gets access to their computer. He messes, and then he treats you like a piece of garbage. What did he do to these girls? I am Ruffles. I destroy lives. Who wants this video? I make a girl cry. Enjoy and learn from the master. The applicant shows no contrition, continued to deny responsibility, and was proud of his own cleverness. With time for rehabilitation to occur, the appellant's denial of responsibility and lack of remorse did not suggest these prospects were promising. Keep that in mind. When you Google this guy's name, Louis Taharaj, Queensland University of Technology, Brisbane, Australia. Louis Taharaj, Department School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Where was this guy going to school when he was arrested? Queensland University of Technology. Now, when you look at the website, his name's not there anymore. But it was there before, because it was screenshotted 2 days ago. It stopped being there yesterday, 1 day after I made my community post saying I was looking into information about this guy and looking him up. Really interesting coincidence that his name was here for a decade, and it disappears the day that I make my community post. He bragged on the internet that he made a 13-year-old girl defile herself and advised others how they could do the same. He'd leave his Rolex watch, gold rings, and cash on his desk in view of the webcam when he spoke to the girls. When you look at the court cases, they bring up a gold Rolex as part of the evidence. And when you look at his videos on YouTube, BwE Electronics, what is he wearing over here? What kind of watch is that? And what color is it? Every one of the videos this guy makes has this little underage looking girl over here with the pink eyes in the bottom of the screen. Same as the shit that I see on his GitHub. What's that all about? There are 2 types of mental illness in this world. The first type, anxiety, depression, borderline bipolar, schizophrenia. People got problems, and I have infinite empathy and sympathy for people with those problems. I'm never going to crap on you for having a problem like that. These are people that they have their issues. They may make life difficult sometimes to the people around them, but they don't mean bad. And then there's this shit. This is not fixable, in my opinion. As the court said, with time for rehabilitation to occur, the appellant's denial of responsibility and lack of remorse did not suggest these prospects were promising. The exact same mentality and the exact same kind of stuff that's being said to these 13-year-old girls is the exact same attitude he has when he's messing with his customers, taking control over their computer, telling them what they can and can't do, laughing and screwing with them. In my opinion, with this type of mental illness, hurting people is the point. It's not like you've hurt somebody as a byproduct of anxiety or depression or schizophrenia or borderline or bipolar. With this mental illness, the intention is to hurt people and screw with them. People like this do not stop. And this is something I've had to learn the hard way as a kid and as an adult. They don't stop until they're held accountable and responsible. I'm going to ask everybody that's ever been banned from his software without receiving a refund, anybody who's ever had this experience, to submit the facts and the truth of their experience to every one of the consumer protection agencies I'm listing in the pinned comment down below. But that's not enough, because even if everybody does that, as long as his software is better than the open source software in any way, there will be a demand for it and people will pay for it. And I find the idea of this man making money while doing business in this way unacceptable and reprehensible. So I'm going to announce another bounty. $1,000 to the next 5 people that the coder tells me over the next 90 days have contributed the most to making his software better than BwE's. When you have the means, you have the responsibility. And I'm lucky enough at this point in time to be able to fund software that makes the repair community and end users' experiences fixing their own devices better. Links in the description down below. Report. Don't think that it's useless. I already lost my money. I'm never going to get it back. That's not the point. You want to make sure that he can't do it to somebody else. For a long time, you've enjoyed feeling like you're in control, making the walls feel like they're closing in on people that couldn't defend themselves. How's it feel when the walls are closing in on you? Usually, I end these videos by saying that's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'm going to end this one on a different note. Enjoy and learn from the master. Anybody else want to file a false strike on my YouTube channel?